So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. Just got back home from the stadium. Roma nil, Inter 2. The big question, which everybody is probably going to ask me in this stream, which everybody is probably feeling is top four gone? Is top four in the league gone? Is the Champions League fight in the league gone? And as much as I love all of the comments in the chat, I absolutely love all of Deck W's positivity. I love it. I absolutely love it. You know me. I'm the first one to love positivity. If you ask me, however, I think we've reached that stage where we have to go all in Europa League. We have reached that stage where I think it's very hard to reach top four within the league. And therefore, we have to go all in Europa League because it can be the season changer. We're here obviously match reaction, speaking about the game, about the players, and also speaking about this top four question, because it's obviously the most interesting thing. To be fair, everything is still open. We're like, 4 points from Inter, who are fourth. Realistically speaking, I do think we won't get top four through the league because other teams have better squad depth than us. And that, I think, is the first topic to talk about when we speak about this game. When you look at the two sides, obviously this has been exacerbated by the injury crisis. If it wasn't for the injury crisis, yes, comparing the two teams would have still left Inter as favourites, because Inter, as Mourinho said post-match, is the best team in Italy when it comes to squad depth. They have not shown that they are the best team in Italy this season, and in fact, I think this season for them, regarding of them being in a Champions League semi-final, if I were an Inter fan, I'd actually think this season was a failure, because for a team like Inter, you were forced to compete against Napoli for the league, and they've never competed for the league. Napoli was first from game week 1 to game week 33 when they won the league. They've never really put that competition to Napoli, and for a team like Inter, you look at the players they have, it's a big failure. And however, they've reassembled, and now they're a completely different team. They are going to get top four without a doubt. Napoli is going to get top four without a doubt. Lazio did lose today. Lazio could crumble apart, but I think they will get top four, because you look at their calendar and they're literally facing 3 out of 4 relegation scrap teams, and the majority of them are at home. So Lazio's going to get in it. The last big question is Juventus, Atalanta, Milan, and maybe put Roma in a bracket. I don't think we are in that bracket. I think we have to go all in Europa League. I think we've bottled too many chances throughout the season. It's not the defeat today which hurts. It's not the defeat today which hurts. I've said this match in the match reaction in the last game too. It's not today's defeat which hurts, or Atalanta's defeat which hurts, because these are two teams, the two games which it's understandable for the team to lose. You look at the injuries, you look at where we are in the Europa League, and the defeat against Atalanta and the defeat against Inter are understandable. Problem is, what is not understandable is the defeats and the loss of points against clubs like Cremonese and Sassuolo and Udinese. Because if you combine the points we lost in these 3 games, let's say we would have won these 3 games, which a team like Roma has to win, you have to add 9 points. And if you add 9 points right now, where would we be? We would be second in the league, quite a gap away from Lazio. So it's not the defeat against Inter or the defeat against Atalanta which made us in a position where we go, right, now diverge away from top 4 in the league, because it's virtually impossible, go all in Europa League. It's not that. Because losing, we won at Inter's ground. So losing a game against Inter throughout an entire season is understandable. Losing a game against Atalanta away 2 days after that incredible comeback when the team played 120 minutes in a Europa League quarterfinal is understandable. It's the Cremonese loss of points. It's the Sassuolo loss of points. It's these loss of points which you look back at the end of the season and you go, right, that's where I had to be better. So we have to go all in the Europa League. To save the season, is it to save the season? Would not getting Champions League football but still getting in a semi-final of a Europa League be a failure? It wouldn't be a failure. It wouldn't be a failure. Because I think if for a team like Roma, and again I'll be biased when I say this, there is no failure. It's not like if we don't get Champions League, it's not a failure. Because, for a team like Roma, reaching a Europa League semi-final is a big thing. The problem if we don't reach Champions League football is not the failure of it. It's the consequences that it's going to bring. Because if we don't get Champions League football, Mourinho could leave. And if Mourinho leaves, Dybala could leave. And if Dybala leaves, who do we buy? And if we don't get to a Champions League, we will not get enough money to buy quality signings this summer. That is the problem if we don't get Champions League football. The problem if we don't get Champions League football is not calling it a failure. Because at the end of the day, failure or no failure, it's not like we're going to change the team we support. We're still going to be here, even if it's a failure next season. Problem is, if we don't get Champions League, the consequences of events, which could happen, is painful to watch. I am not here to throw negativity whatsoever. If you're an OG subscriber, I feel like you know me. I normally criticize people who spread negativity. I am not here to spread negativity, and please don't take this as a negativity thing. But I think all of us can agree that we now have to go all in Europa League because we have to go all in Europa League. It's the chance. It's the chance, and it's a big chance. It can happen. And if we were to win Europa League, then we can look back at these moments. We can look at these moments and literally go, oh, I lost against Inter. Who cares? But obviously we gotta win Europa League, and it's not there. It's not something which will automatically happen. We still have to fight. It's not like we're in a Europa League semi-final and we're gonna win it. No. On Thursday we have yet another battle against a team which is living a great moment. But speaking about Bayer Leverkusen will come this week. Speaking about the game, I think it's the differences in squad depth. I mean, the injuries don't help, but at a certain point, the camera. I rewatched some highlights on my TV, and at a certain point, the camera was showing the players who were warming up, and Roma had Missori, Pisilli, Tahirovic, Dybala, and Tammy Abraham, and Inter Milan had Lautaro Martinez, Henrik Mkhitaryan, what's his name, Edin Dzeko, and the other midfield guy, what's his name? Sorry, not the midfield, the defender, De Vrij. You compare these things, and that's it. You look at the two sides, and the defeat, looking at the quality, is understandable. I liked the way we fought, and if there's anything, if there is something which you can't say about the team, is that they didn't fight. This team has fought every single game. They wanted it today. They wanted it, but the injuries don't help. The fatigue doesn't help. And I think the fact that our strikers are too isolated doesn't help either. Another thing which I want to say is, I'm going to say it in Italian, mi sono rotto il cazzo di Ibanez. Basta. Sell Ibanez before his value drops. Sell him before his value drops and we get no money from it. Because it's insane. The guy literally gives us points away every single time. It's insane. And you know what? I'm happy of the performance of the team because the team fought. The thing which makes me mad in this game is Ibanez. It's single-handedly Ibanez. Basta! Bloody hell! He literally loses his points. And I'm not saying we were going to draw or win without Ibanez's mistake, but it doesn't help. Every time we play a big team, the guy flops it. He's a professional player. He's done it against Lazio in the first leg. He's done it against Lazio in the second leg. He's done it against Inter now. Stop. Basta. Sell Ibanez. I don't even care if we sell him. In fact, it'd be good if we sell him now because we could actually get some money from it. If he keeps on making these mistakes, his value goes like that. That's the thing which makes me which makes me mad. E non è possibile. Mamma mia. So yeah, I didn't like Ibanez. I didn't like. There isn't one player which I liked today. It wasn't one of those performances which we will remember until the day we die. Who I liked was Bove. Bove was probably the only player I liked in this game because, as Mourinho said post match, it's to think that he got promoted 5 months ago into the first team and to play with such composure, I'd say, with such confidence, is so good to see. And let me tell you one thing, Bove is slowly starting to become one of my favorite players in this team. Really, I'm not joking. What I didn't like today is Spinazzola. I don't like how Spinazzola lately does not run into the box. The only thing he's good at is running into that box and opening up spaces, and yet every time he had the ball today, he passed it back to Mancini or Cristante. Another player which I liked was Cristante, because the guy is a centre mid, was called to play as a centre back and mark Romelu Lukaku, which is twice his size, and yet Lukaku, he scored that goal, but it wasn't Cristante's fault. It was that moronic action of Ibanez which cost us that goal. I really like Cristante. I really like Bove. The only players which I really like today. Matic is always good, but yeah. If we don't win Europa or get top four, it will be a failure, and there is a failure in sports and life. Please acknowledge this. There is, what I'm saying is, it's not. It is going to be a failure, right? But it's not the failure which is the sad thing. It's not that. At least in my case, it's not that. If we don't get Champions League football next season, it's not the fact that it's a failure which makes me irritated. It's more of the consequences which are going to happen. Because, as I just said, failure, yeah, 100%. Failure in sports is a thing. You win and you lose. That's what sports is at the end of the day. But if we win or we lose, if it's a success or if it's a failure, it's not going to change who we are next season. I mean, at least in my opinion, I'm still going to be there, sat on those Olympico seats. So it's not the term failure which irritates me, because we can't do anything about it. The problem is, if we don't get Champions League football, the realistic failure will be the consequences which are going to happen. And that's the bigger failure. Yeah, exactly what Giannis Antetokounmpo said in the NBA playoff. Failure is a thing, but it doesn't change who we are. And I know there are going to be I know this as a matter of fact. Part of this community, there are a lot of Mourinho fans which are here because of Mourinho. So the day Mourinho leaves, you'll probably never even hear about Roma again. That's not who I am. That is not who I am. I didn't start this channel because of Mourinho. I started this channel because I've been a Roma fan for 17 years of my life. I've gone through a lot of failures as a Roma career, as a Roma fan career. And I'm not scared of the failure, and everybody call it a failure. I'm not scared of Lazio fans go, "Oh, I got Champions League, you didn't." That's not what I'm scared of. That doesn't change who I am. I'm still gonna get a season pass next season. I'm still gonna be there, sat on those Olympico seats. If it's a sunny day, if it's a rainy day, if it's a snowy day, it's not gonna change me as a human being. I'm still gonna be here creating content for you guys. But the realistic side of failure if we don't get Champions League is the consequences which could happen. But again, even with those consequences, I'm still gonna be here because yeah, it's the beauty of sports. You win and you lose. And again, I want to invite everyone to smash the like button in this live stream. I'm not trying to be delusional here, but we win and we lose as a group. So it would be too easy for everyone here to smash the like button just every time we win. You gotta smash the like button, support this community even when we lose, because we move as a group. So do that if you haven't already. And then the last thing which I'll say is faith. The last thing which the last thing which I'll say is I want to share a picture before ending the stream. I know it's this action of me sharing the picture is not going to change anything, but it brings faith to an end of a season which is going to be very, very vital. This picture is the reason why my dream can turn into reality. Let me quickly send this text. This picture is the reason why I've always said it, and I'm gonna say it again. This picture is the reason why my dream as a Roma fan of lifting the Europa League trophy, I believe in it. This picture is the reason why I believe in us lifting that trophy. Because from the day this manager arrived in this city, I've fallen with love with him. I've fallen in love with him and his way of bringing the fans and the players closer together. And it made me understand something which I've never understood before as a Roma fan, which is how precious it is to be close to your team. And it's the thing I'm gonna miss the most if Jose leaves. And I don't want Jose to leave. I absolutely don't want that to happen. But it could happen. And it's this picture which gives me hope. It really is. I have never seen a more united group in sports. I've never seen a closer relationship between the fans, the players, and the manager altogether. I've never seen it, and it's the best thing which a fan could live. Going at the stadium and seeing the entire stadium, the entire fan base singing 2-0 down. Going at the stadium and 5 minutes after that halftime, that the second half started, the entire stadium singing Jose Mourinho, la la. That is what makes me happy. Really, I'm being dead serious here. It's the best thing. It's the best thing. The best feeling, seeing your group united. And as I just said, this picture gives me hope, because we might be out of the top 4 race through the league, but we still have Europa League to fight for, and we've come a long way. We've beat Salzburg, we've beat Real Sociedad, and we weren't necessarily the favourites in that tie. We Feyenoord after going down 1-0. And now we've got Bayer Leverkusen. And it's close. You know, lifting that trophy is close, but yet so far away. And on Thursday, we're gonna have some players won't be back, like Smalling. But whoever plays the game on Thursday, I am convinced will fight. I'll be there at the stadium once again on Thursday. And yeah, wow. But yeah, catch you very, very soon. Catch you tomorrow. We gotta give it our best in Europa League now. We really have to. You know, if it means resting players in Serie A games, do it. and hopefully that dream can come to reality. But yeah, we lost. I'm gonna catch you soon. Slowly, starting on Monday to prepare for what is, at this stage, one of the best and most important games of the season. And with that picture on the screen, I believe in everything. Catch you very, very soon. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, do all of that if you haven't already. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Simon, out.